The Father Christmas podcast with Kim. And Father Christmas, of course.
In association with Mike FX microphone sleeves, loved by professional artists all around the world.
It's Thursday evening, and Thursdays are the new Father Christmas Day. How's your half day going, Father Christmas?
Oh, it's really hotting up now. Things are all starting to happen all around here. Well, they've been happening all year. You know, I don't just work on Christmas Day. I work all the year round. We do have holidays, but people seem to think I only work one day. No. I work most of the year collating all the wishes, collating the presents, and we have to exercise the reindeer. The elves have to get into practice for all the ordering and everything like that. And also this new technology stuff. It has to be worked well by some of our elves. And also, it's not just in England that I'm doing it. I am all around the world doing these presents and things. So we have to be a little bilingual, you see.
Talking of the technology, once again, it's amazing that we're able to chat together on this podcast, but we're not actually in the same room together. Where are you, Father Christmas?
I find it absolutely amazing that I can sit here and flick this funny switch thing here. Where is it?
Don't break it.
That's the one. Yes, and I can talk to you. Our chief technical elves have done an amazing job here, and it all goes through the internet.
Internet.
Worldwide thing, you know.
Yes, we know.
Yes, it is very, very clever.
So it's been a very busy and different year this year for you, I've no doubt. Busy because, like you say, you've always got lots on. But for lots of children, they're going to be a little bit concerned about Christmas, about it maybe not happening in the same way, because we've been in this thing called lockdown. And it's been really hard work with a nasty virus that's meant that really to stay safe, we've needed to stay indoors. What's that meant for you, Father Christmas?
Well, it has applied to me. No one is immune from this virus thing. We have isolated because we are up in Lapland. We don't have so much pressure on the isolation. But the meetings with some of our suppliers, of course, the worst thing is, as you know, I have a beard, and wearing a mask at some of the meetings with our suppliers, it is most uncomfortable wearing a mask with a big beard. So we've tried to do a lot of remote contact, which has worked really well, and we've been using the telephone, and we've also been using this wonderful email thing to talk to customers. And do you know, you can sit at your computer, and if it has a little camera thing, it's a little round thing. It's a camera. And you can see other people, and they can see you. It's very, very clever. We've been doing a lot of that, and I find it very fascinating, but somehow quite daunting and frightening.
Yes.
But we're managing. The elves and everyone, I think even the reindeer will be happy to use it, but the elves use it as though it were second nature. It's just a gentleman of my age, I suppose, are a little concerned by it. But it is working, and it's wonderful.
And you've been able to continue to work. And, you know, even though we've had times where we've not been able to come out of the house and we've had to stay at home and we've had to stay safe, it's been really important to do that so that we can make sure that come Christmas Eve, we will still be able to get some presents. We will still be able to have that visit. You're going to be very, very safe when you do your visits, aren't you?
Certainly are. We have designed a form of suit for me in certain environments, which means that I can actually deliver the presents most of the way around the world. And obviously, as you so rightly said, it's a case of staying safe. That seems to be the mantra these days, and I am 100% behind that. We all have to stay safe and avoid this dreadful virus. But as far as affecting us, we have had no cases in our particular community up here. The reindeer seem relatively impervious to it, which is it's a blessing in disguise. As you know, as you may remember, the reindeer can be quite obstreperous at times. But this year, they've obviously realised something has changed, and they're being very, very good.
You're listening to the Father Christmas podcast.
In association with Mike FX microphone sleeves, loved by professional artists all around the world.
So tell me a little bit about your year then, Father Christmas, because like you've mentioned, lots of people think you only work for one day, and I know that's not the case. So let's start from right after Christmas in 2019. What's happened since then?
Oh, well, January is we get over Christmas and we sort of have a little dinner and we celebrate New Year's, and then January is spent really clearing up all the mess. I mean, the stray bits of packing. There's lots and lots of string that has to be rolled back up, and when you're doing sellotape, you have the sticky bits everywhere, and it's basically we're clearing up the stray bits of packing, string, sellotape, and sealing wax. It all has to be ecologically recycled. We're very into recycling, you know, up here in Lapland.
Good.
The string and the paper, obviously, we can reuse quite a lot of that. Some of the sellotape we can't, so we have to carefully dispose of that. But that's the whole of the month is clearing things up, making sure that we have a wonderful, clear area for starting our work during the year building up, of course, to Christmas. January seems to fly by because we've done our job and we've cleared up and the place is looking clean. The elves are very good with their brooms, sweeping the floors and everything. And then, of course, we get to February. Now, February is always a favourite month for myself and Mrs. Christmas because February contains St. Valentine's Day. And I'm a bit of an old romantic at heart, so we do go out for dinner. But, it's also the month where the reindeer need a good scrub down in preparation for the spring pastures. And the elves also, they need to sort of clean their wardrobe and refresh their wardrobes because they've been working all year, you see, up for this. And it gives them a chance where there's not the pressure of work and they can tidy their own spaces, which is quite good. The beginning of the year is basically a cleaning up time of the year.
Yeah, sounds to me like it's quite busy at the very, very start of the year. January, February is certainly very busy for you. What happens from then on? You know, when you kind of go March, April, May, you start going in towards summer.
Is the time when we start negotiating with our umpteen suppliers for next year. Also, it's the time of year when some of the elves who are really keen on it, they take skiing holidays at the beginning of March to the end of March. And they have a wonderful... They come back refreshed and looking forward to the work of the year. But the only trouble with March, of course, is we have the accounts that have to be finalised and signed off. Oh, how I dread accountancy work. I find it's not my favourite subject, but it is one that is necessary. April is usually the time that myself and Mrs. Christmas take a short break. Go somewhere like Mevagissey or the Antipodes, where it's warm and comfortable and we can hide away and just relax and build up the energy, etc., for the following Christmas. It's quite a nice month, April. Spring is rising, the flowers and the trees are beginning to blossom, part of the year that we really love. Actually, it's the forerunner to May. May is the beginning of the sort of summery bit, which is lovely. And that's the time when we really start to enjoy things, or at least some of the elves do, because in May is when we start to get some deliveries. And we can start to inspect and test and play with various of the toys and gifts. Oh, yes. We have to thoroughly road test them so that there aren't too many breakages, you see. I mean, some get through, you can't help that. It's also a learning curve for myself,
We're heading in towards summer now, and I mean, summer's been a bit different this year. We haven't been able to fly anywhere to go on holiday. I know you have your own way of flying, but what did you manage to do for summer?
But summertime is the time when we sort of introduce our new IT systems.
Oh.
Well, that's what I'm told they're called. They're the things that collate and organise where all the gifts go, how they're organised through our various great big warehouses. And as you must appreciate, the warehouses are quite big, which is why you'd spend the beginning of the year cleaning them up. But yes, so while you are enjoying your summer, and this year, may I say, it was quite a nice summer. Really quite enjoyed the late evenings sitting outside and with a large cup of cocoa or perhaps a foaming pint of ale was sometimes is really rather nice. But yes, it's been a bit sad. Lots of people haven't been able to get away, but with a good summer, at least you can enjoy your own environment and space. And we certainly have. We've got quite a big garden round our little house, and we've spent a lot of the time in the summer gardening and things like that. And I really have developed quite a penchant for it. I really do quite enjoy it. Strange for a man of Christmas, but it is indeed fun.
It's so lovely to hear about the other things that you do over the year because, I don't think anybody should forget about Father Christmas once Christmas Day is over. And it's nice to get a little look into your life and find out what you've been up to.
Well, yes, it's not only the one day. Lots of people think that I just work the one day. Oh, no. That day is a very, very long day for me because it's longer than your day. It's more than 24 hours. And yes, I'm organising with, thank goodness, all the elves and everyone, training the reindeer, making sure that everything's going to work absolutely correctly on the big day. That's the important thing. Everything must work correctly on Christmas Eve.
Now, Father Christmas, I've got lots and lots more things that I want to talk to you about, but I know that you're a very busy man right now. You've got lots of preparations to do. How about we catch up again next Thursday and you can tell us all about those preparations, what you do when you get the letters in and how the lists get started?
Yes, of course. I would be delighted to do that. Certainly, Kim. Yes, we must do it. As ever, Kim, it is wonderful speaking to you through all these wonderful technology things.
Well, then we'll catch up again online next week on the podcast.
Kim, it'll be an absolute pleasure as always.
I love you, Father Christmas.
The Father Christmas podcast has teamed up with Tonybox, a new audio system that changes the way children listen to stories and music. It's like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's intuitive, like child's play. The easy-to-use Tonybox is perfect for all children from the age of 3 who want to listen, learn and laugh, where and whenever they feel like it.
The Father Christmas podcast is also proud to support the Firefighters charity. They need to raise urgent funds to help support the fire service community with mental, physical and social support throughout their lives. You can get involved with the Fire Family Christmas campaign and take part in your own Santa Dash to help fundraise. All the details are in the podcast notes.